What's up, everybody? Welcome to the K-Pop Kimchi Podcast, your number one podcast for girl groups with the number one fanboys. Today was the day. The final of Universe Ticket is here.
Episode 10.
10 long weeks.
That's almost, it's 2.5 months.
It's a long time of Universe Ticket.
It wasn't even this year when we started this.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But we did it. We made it. And we just watched the final rankings, the group. We watched the people win the show.
And if you're listening to this right now and you haven't looked at our YouTube channel, which you're probably listening to the song because that's where we get all the views from, we did a reaction video we're putting up. So go check
it out. You can see our live shots to everyone making it.
The jubilation in our faces.
Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
Excitement
it's crazy.
Never ends.
You'll see.
But I mean, this episode is pretty much just a bunch of them singing and dancing, having a good time, getting those last songs out there before they get eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
And we discovered at the beginning of this episode that our host was Jang Sung-kyu, who apparently was like a broadcaster or host guy. Justin said he's seen him.
I've seen him on host of some other stuff. I don't know exactly, but I've seen him around.
But he was our host for this. And the girls came and did the Universe Ticket theme song. First off, this is like an entire concert that they put on here for the live fans.
We had a live crowd, a whole new stage, which was cool, and then like the big unicorn setup where they sat. It was a pretty cool like final layout for the show.
Then they did 2 songs, which got split into 2 groups. I'm still questioning why, with such young people, they're doing songs from like 1998.
Yeah, there were some like throwback songs. It looked like
because they did this one song called White. First off, we didn't watch this with subtitles because it hasn't been subbed yet. So everything had no subtitles. So we're not really sure what all was happening.
Yeah, we just wanted to be the most current we could, and we just wanted
to experience it. We were so excited.
The stream that we found didn't have subs. So thanks to Dance out there. But
yeah, they did this song.
We just kind of went with the flow.
Which looked like an original song from back when like HOT was popular.
Maybe.
Like it was an old one.
Yeah.
And one group did that. It was like a very winter theme kind of one. Like there's like snow on the screens and stuff.
Yeah.
Then the next song they did was Miracle by Super Junior, which looks like it was like the first ever Super Junior song ever made. Like before they got famous.
Long time ago.
So they did some like little remixes to those. Then they came back and they did their own like new songs. One was called Dopamine, and the other one was called Camera. Dopamine is more of a little more edgy concept than the other one was more like a bubblegummy type of song.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I like Camera better than the Dopamine one.
It seemed alright.
But
honestly, at this point,
none of those are better than Yummy Yum. So.
But you just like want to get to the elimination.
Yeah, I don't know why they're putting on this.
They're just doing like a lot of songs, and you're like, we just want to see who actually makes the team. Like I know they're trying to put on a show, but that's just kind of where I was at watching. I was like, these songs are alright, but I want to see the final.
Yeah, like the entire episode, the only part that really mattered was the last like 30 minutes. And they actually did the promotions.
Yeah.
I don't really think there was eliminations in this show. They just kind of got promoted.
Yeah, I kept saying that, and like I guess like you technically got eliminated, but yeah, who are the people that actually won the show?
Because then they did the Ticket to You song, their other song for the show.
Like the theme.
And they had a little flashback time to when they all like gathered around the campfire and relived like their old memories from like a month ago.
From 10 weeks ago.
And they watched their like little entrance videos and stuff, the classic, everyone's got to come together and bond before they get their heart tripped out by not making it.
Right.
So after we like barreled through that, the first hour of the show, we finally got to the promotion/eliminations. And as we all know going into it, Alicia was the number one. So she was the only person who made it before the show actually got to this part.
Yeah, she was already there.
And I was telling Justin before this, I only saw kind of like, there weren't really spoilers. I tried to go through the whole day and not see spoilers. And of course you see them in the most like random places. Like on Reddit and the Triple S subreddit, I saw the spoilers. Sure. It's like, why would I know that was going to be there? Mm-hmm. I went to see about this light stick thing that they're having. And all of a sudden it's just all this stuff about like people who didn't make it in Universe Ticket.
Right.
So going into it, I knew a couple people that made it, which I'm not shocked by. And I knew 2 of the people who did not make it, which I was very sad about.
Yeah.
But other than that, my only actual guess going into this, like I told Justin, was I felt like everybody in this group was not going to be over the age of 17. She would have been shocked if
I mean,
they
it's
were.
a safe bet because all the most popular people were not.
And the couple that were easily could have been knocked out by somebody who was under 17. Like, I mean, they're all like in the
There's a lot of
same.
young
They're in the
people
same
in this show.
ballpark.
Yeah, a lot of young people in this show.
So, like I said, we knew Alicia's number one. Then, like I said, we didn't have translation, so I'm not really sure what was going on. But the unicorns got like 2 at-large bids who just automatically got picked to be
Using
in the group,
our
apparently.
detective skills, it seemed like the judges got 2 people to pick.
Which is weird, because you can see in our reaction video, we're not really sure if we're supposed to clap or be happy,
Yeah.
because I wasn't even sure if they were in the group.
It's a great
I thought
reaction.
they were just getting called.
Or we didn't know if they were like calling multiple people or
Like, oh, you 3 are going to be the
or
ones who
you
might get
didn't
picked.
make it because we just had no idea. But yeah, turns out these people were automatically in because really, I guess one of the persons showed. I feel like there wasn't a ton of emotion.
No, one of like, okay, so the first one that got picked was Bang Yuna, which no shock, and you should
No, everyone knew she'd make it.
But she literally had like no emotion, and all she just
She
walked
kind
up.
of just walked up and
was like,
smiled,
okay, cool.
and then she gave like a big speech. And then once they kind of put the gold graphic up,
I was like, oh, she
we're like,
made it.
okay, she's in the group.
I thought they were gonna be like, so how do you feel being like one of the finalists or something? You
Yeah,
know?
I thought we definitely were gonna get like 3 people up there or something at once.
And then
type of
after
thing.
that, the
Especially
next,
for like the judge voting.
yeah, I know. The next pick we had was the one that we were waiting to see if she actually made it or not, because I didn't see if she made it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that was Nana,
Yeah.
which no shock, she should have been in the 3 episodes. Ago,
Yeah,
so.
she totally deserved it. She showed a little more emotion getting picked.
Yeah, she was like excited. That's when I knew she made it.
And then I was like, okay, she made it. Because even then, like again, no subs. We have no idea what's going on. So we weren't sure if the judges got 1 pick, and we're on to normal picks now. Who knows? But Nana made it, and she was happy. And again, she totally deserved it. So
Yeah, she, like I said, she should have been
she
there
was
a while
really
ago.
good. She was a good contestant. Good contestant.
But after we got those done, we actually got to the voting part that mattered.
Yeah.
And the way they did this was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Because I get that they're separated between R and I, and R is the next highest group, so you just kind of go through all of them
Mm-hmm.
before you get to the lower ones. Which, I mean, sure, that's fine. But the thing that's weird about it is, spoiler alert, literally all of them except for 1 made it. So, if the last member of R made it, just nobody from I would have made it. It would have just been, like, pointless.
Right. It was just not surprising at all.
No, not at all.
Really?
The only one I was kind of shocked by was the last one.
There was one that was surprising, and that was it. Everyone else was not. But yeah, like you said, it was just everyone in R, which were, guess what? The most popular people
Yeah, because that's how they got there.
going in there. So
So the first one that went up, because they like started calling them individually, and they like had the little what'd you say it was before, like a little speedometer?
the little like Fitbit tracker thing that goes in fills the circle.
Because that's like my favorite part of the
Yeah,
whole.
that was pretty cool. Like they had some cool. There were some cool like aspects to this show that were different than other ones.
And that was Jelly, our girl Jelly out there.
Shelly did a great job.
And she, no surprise, made it. Because that was one of the spoilers I saw, is that we had like a whole like Filipino line. So
Yeah.
I knew she made it. And she won by a lot. Like,
Yeah, as far as, well, this was our first person we actually saw a vote number for, like the numbers, and from everyone else, Jelly dominated. Like, if there was a number 1 because of votes, Jelly
I was going to say, dude, would she have just been number 1 based off votes?
Jelly dominated, because we didn't get to see it for the other 3, but Jelly had a ton.
Like,
of
she
votes.
had more than the next, like, 4 people combined
It was
together.
like, what, 2.4 million? Like,
Yeah, it
almost
was a lot.
2.5. She got a lot of, that's like other survival show kind of numbers. Like, that's a lot
That
of
might be
votes.
more votes than the person who won Girls Planet got.
That's a lot of votes. That's a lot of votes.
But Jelly got in, so I was happy about that.
And then, so she was like the 4th member?
Yeah, she was the 4th person. Then we got Sowon, who's, like, been the chosen one since the beginning of the show, so
Yeah, that one.
obviously she was going to make it. Her little trot voice,
That one was,
everybody loved her.
that was spoiled, but yeah, I mean, we already knew she was going to make it.
She got in.
Significantly less votes than Jelly.
Oh,
Not even close.
Jelly had, like, 4 times the amount of votes she did.
Not,
Like, it
not
was-
as much, but yeah, someone made it.
Then after that, we got Yuna, who I honestly don't really remember her ever doing anything
I don't
except
really
being
remember.
there.
I don't really remember. It's 10 long weeks.
But I know I saw a lot of posts and people were like really like loving her and wanted her to make the final lineup. So there you go, she made it. Then we got, no surprise, Kodako made it.
Yep.
So that's already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 members all who I was right. They're under the age of 17. I was like, it's going to be real close. We're going to see here.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, those were literally the people we picked at like the week 1 of the show to make it. To the
Yeah, I
final
mean,
lineup.
it's pretty just
based off screen time.
Just no surprises at all.
Then after that, we actually got a couple people who got eliminated. So Suman, you did great, but you got eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
Really was tragic. She was the only R person left.
Yeah.
And just like hung her out there to dry by herself. It was like embarrassing at that point.
She was just like standing by herself and then went and stood by herself again when she didn't make it.
And honestly, from watching her expressions the whole time, she did not seem very sure that she was going to make it.
No, she, I don't know. I feel like expressions overall in the show, it seems like they almost knew what was going to happen before. Like, people were happy, but like, it wasn't, like, I don't know. I just felt like everyone was pretty tame.
Then after that, my girl Sunwoo went up. She was the first I person. And I knew the only other spoiler I knew was I knew that Suman and Sunwoo didn't make it. So I was ready for that heartbreak, and she did not make it.
She was close.
She was close. But the weirdest part about that was like the most emotion I've seen from anybody was Soan was like bawling her eyes out like when Kodako cried when Jayla got eliminated. I was like, she's crying so hard right now. Like, why is she so sad about this? We're like really big friends or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
Then after that, we went to Belle or Hyunju. And this is one I was like, in the video I put, I'd be very surprised if she makes it. And she did.
She did.
So, good job, Belle. You did it.
She was the last member.
Signature's going to be one down here.
The last member is
Which
Belle.
is kind of funny because I'm looking at the rankings from last week. And literally, she was not in the top 8 last week. And Suman was number 8, didn't make it. Sun was number 9 and didn't make it, and she was number 10.
There was a big push for
the
Belle.
Signature members.
Definitely, that one was definitely a surprise. That was my big spoiler before we even watched, so I knew it was going to happen. But still, I was surprised by it. I didn't think Belle was going to make it just because she was already in another group. And
yeah, it's kind of weird because she made it, and she's the only member that was in a previous group, or still is in a group technically.
Yeah.
And she's so much older than everybody else.
It's just such a, I don't know. I mean,
I think the closest member to her is like 5 years younger than she is.
This group is so young overall, and then
Someone who said's like 10 years younger than her.
If someone's 12, that's so crazy.
So it's like a whole decade younger
She's literally a decade older than her. I'm like, what are they talking? Like, she literally just like the daycare mom of this group now to like make sure they like are ready to go to their, I don't know. This group is just really young. And I mean, congrats to Belle though. She had a good show. I didn't think she'd make it.
My favorite part about the whole thing about her making it though is, like I said last week, the first like 3 or 4 episodes, didn't see anything about her.
Yeah.
Didn't even know she was there.
She really she really was not noticed. They didn't really show her at all in the beginning. And then she was like very solid and pretty good. Like, she was good throughout the whole thing when she was shown. But it definitely was never at a point where I was like, oh, she's for sure making it.
They almost like tried to bury her in those first episodes and not even let you know that she was there.
You did no idea Belle was there in the beginning. It was crazy. But yeah, the fans had a big push for her, I guess, in this last.
I think the first time that I saw her actually in the show, like I'm like, oh hey, she's there.
Yeah.
Was when they showed the highlight in that one episode where it looked like she was yelling at everybody.
Yeah, I know, and when she was like the leader, and it really wasn't even that bad.
And she like picked everybody up, and they all loved her.
It wasn't even that bad. She had a really good show, and I mean, I guess was deserving. She was deserving, but it was definitely a surprise.
So we have, I guess, Sowon, Yuna, Yunha, and Belle. So we have 4 and 4. We have 4 Korean people and 4 non-Korean people.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think, right? Yeah. Because Alicia, Jelly, Nana, and Kodako are not. So we got 4 and 4. So that's a little more even of a spread than I thought there was going to be. Yeah, based off our previous experiences.
Usually it's not like that. So there's our group, and their name is UNIS. Uni.
Like short for university.
Pretty universal, whatever. It was good. It's also a good name. Good name.
I feel bad for the other like 6 girls who didn't even get to go on the thing. They just stood there the whole time for
overall
no reason.
Overall kind of a weird elimination because then these other girls just didn't even. They just stood there. They didn't even. Like, I don't know. Is that better than going up and seeing you didn't make it? Like, actually, but it's just kind of weird because some people did that, some people didn't. But then I guess if they would have like, they couldn't save Belle for last because then it would have been like. How they know, but I don't know.
The other thing that's weird, too, is I'm looking at the rankings here. And based off last eliminations ranking things. If they didn't pick Una, I wonder how that would have gone because she was like number 7.
Mm-hmm.
So picking Una might have saved Belle from being in the group.
Yeah, maybe.
Interesting.
But yeah, there wasn't really. I don't know who, because I guess the one surprise was really Belle.
That was the only surprising one for me.
I'm not. I don't know who's like the person. I'm like, wow, I really thought it was going to be this person. I don't really think I have one of those. I mean, maybe.
I was thinking that maybe Cian would have snuck in there because everyone like loves her, or somehow Gabby would have made it.
I guess the 2 people that they actually did put up there were maybe the ones I thought could have made it too. But so that makes sense. But yeah, they're just not an overall surprising final lineup.
We are who we thought.
Pretty much the most popular people.
I put on here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Woolies. When I have this random list of people we thought were going to be there, 4 of them made it. So, but that's what when we only saw like the very first episode when they were like doing little side by side battles.
Well, there you go.
So out of our first guess, we definitely were pretty close.
People were pretty noticeable then.
Yep. So there you go. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening to us.
Let us know if you want to stay in the group or not.
Let us know your thoughts on the group.
We'll definitely check out what music they have coming out. I mean, to say I'm excited about the group as a whole, not really. Just because they're really young, and I don't know. But we'll see what music they put out.
Until the next elimination show we may or may not watch. Peace.